made it beat, by the way.
All right. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is another episode of the interview. This is The Corner Presents. And tonight I got a special guest. We got
Coach Cody, the Cody. Some of y'all know me as the Cody, but everybody knew AKA Coach Cody.
Coach Cody. All right, we're gonna stick with that one, Coach Cody. That's how I'm gonna refer to him for the rest of the interview. Coach Cody. That'll work, man. So, man, how you been?
I've been good, brother. Good. You know, just living life.
Sure.
So proud of your success. You know, with the corner, man. I mean, so when you put that little post out there, I was like, man, let me get on this thing. So at least I was on it when they was on the come up,
right?
So when you walk in the red carpet, I say, I know it.
I hear you. Like, yeah, I was there from the
Right.
beginning.
You remember me?
That's what's up, man. Because I mean, like I was telling you before, man, the whole purpose of this show was just to, you know, put a spotlight on people that don't know how to light on them.
Right.
So that's what I do. So anybody I'm connected with, whether it's up and coming, whether it's just starting, that's my goal.
Right.
You know, my goal is to uplift the community. That's what I've been striving for.
Right.
So anytime I put it out there, I don't care who anybody is. You somebody off the street want to talk to me, I don't care. I'm here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So definitely glad you was able to come tonight and
Yes,
able to have to sit down and have this powwow with me, man.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Break bread or wine, juice, or whatever. But, you know, this is water right here. So, you know.
Nothing in y'all. I'm the only one that like to get the edge off, man. You know, because it's tough out here hustling for these shows, man.
Yeah, you know, that breaks the sweat. You wasn't gonna sweat so much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Get the sweat back.
So man, let's rewind, man. So the Cody. So how did you become Coach Cody? How do we get that process?
Well, you know, I've known Vincent for a few years now. You know, I've always been in this whole relationship guru type thing. You know, so I was always out here giving free advice. So why not, you know, go get certified and make it a living?
Right.
It has been a journey. Let me say that because I think a lot of times when you take on a new assignment, you know, church folks, you know, every level that's another devil. You know what I mean? But I became Coach Cody because, like I said, I was just out here trying to walk in purpose. I'm a firm believer in just walking your purpose, doing whatever it is that you feel you were put on this earth to do. You know, you feel like you put here to encourage people, make a platform for people. You know, when you do that, you know, you get the best of it. Like, get paid for it, cool. If not, you know, look, I did what I had to do.
Right.
Did what I had to do. But this has been a journey.
Right.
I can share some stories with you. Let me tell you something. This coaching thing is no joke. You know, you think you're coaching a girl to come, you know, to help out, and then they say, you know, you're getting pictures and all this other stuff. And, you know, I'm like, look, yeah.
I ain't coming for all that.
Look, I didn't know you wanted it like this, but okay.
I want to uplift you, not you uplift me.
Right. So, look, can't give out your personal number with this stuff. I'm gonna let you know that much. Yeah.
Dang. So you gotta have a whole other second phone and everything.
A whole second phone. Like, you can't be in no committed relationship trying to coach folks. Let me not say that because I don't want to discourage some people.
Right.
But yeah, let me just say it's a challenge. It takes somebody who is strong and very has self-control.
Right. So for anybody that's looking to do it, what's the process of getting into it? Like,
there's a lot of different processes to get into it. Myself personally, I went through Living on Purpose University. That's my Pastor Kimberly Jones. If you guys want to connect with her, get certified, you know, she doesn't just specialize in relationship coaching, but life coaching as well. So that was a journey in itself. I think a lot of times going through the course, I found out a lot about myself. Found out a lot about some things that I thought I had mastered, but you know, it's like, well, guess I ain't as good at that as I thought I was. But you know, if you want to, you know, I'm sure I'll get Vincent to put the link in the bio so you guys can check her out. If that's something that you are interested in, like, please take advantage of it. I'm in this season now, and I'm just like, look, I'm just gonna take chance after chance after chance. If it takes $500 to invest in something that I'm believing in, by all means do it. You only live once. That's my motto. You only live once, so just go for it.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, with that whole process or whatever, so how can I put this? how easy is it for you to transition between two? Like, you studied to be a relationship coach, but how difficult is it for you to be a life coach? Would it be more so the same?
I think it's more so in the same, but I think what you have to realize is when you're dealing with somebody when it comes to relationship coaching, you're also dealing with some issues within that person and may have some insecurities as far as them trying previous relationships. With life coaching, it's more so about the initial goal that this person's trying to reach. Right. You know, just like a football coach. You know, as a football coach, I'm not here to run the ball for you. I'm just here to guide you along the way. You know, you're the one who initially is supposed to make the field goal, you know, or make the touchdown, so to speak. So to kind of pick back off of that, when it comes to coaching or relationship coaching, I think the biggest thing is I say this as a coach, like make sure it's something that you are prepared for. You know, like for instance, like if you're married, you know, if y'all decide to go through coaching or counseling or whatever, both of you guys gotta be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's gonna be some stuff that's gonna get exposed about you that you was like, look, that ain't me, but no, that is you. That is you. Yeah. So you gotta be willing and able to take the punches. I think that's the biggest part. But yeah.
All right. So I mean, with all that being said, so everything leading up to where you are now, like, cause I mean, like I said, I've known you for years. So, you know, you went from being a host, you know, to being a speaker for certain shows and things of that nature. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you've spoken at a couple of, you know, church events as well. So how did that help you become the coach that you are? Like, did you learn from those experiences to build you up to where you are now?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely learned from those experiences. You were along the journey when we first did the Letters to the Mic thing.
For sure.
And if anybody on here knows that story, me and Jasmine were not initially supposed to be the host of that show. We were supposed to have somebody else come in, but we was like, look, like we ain't got the money for nobody else, so we got to do this ourselves. Yeah. And like I said, I'm a firm believer in purpose, and I think it all was a process of me being to this point now. You know, to be able to sit here and do interviews and not necessarily be nervous. Like I feel like don't get me wrong, I know this is what it is, but I'm still nervous over here, like sweat, boy. But sweating, you know, over here sweating. But I think the biggest thing is what I took out of this is like it's all a journey. From the people that I dated, the relationship that didn't work out, the relationship that did work out, have even played a big role in my coaching ability. You know, because I've been through some of this stuff to understand what people go through and trying to. And as a single man, let me tell y'all, I mean, I know you've been married for some years, so you don't really understand. It's rough out here in these streets, man. It is rough out here in these streets. But you know, it's like I said, all together, it's a journey, and it's something that I feel like you really have to be ready to take on. You know, it's the biggest thing.
Okay. So I mean, with that being said, so with the experience and stuff you gained, like how hard was it trying to maneuver in these things and be in a relationship? How hard was it to do that?
Well, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. I believe, you know, when you're a firm believer in purpose and what you do for, I wouldn't even say necessarily outside of your regular job, 9-to-5 job. The biggest thing with that is like you gotta make sure you connected to somebody who understands what it is you do. You know,
like somebody's in that same realm, or
I wouldn't even say in that same realm, but just understand what it is you do. For example, like with me being a coach, about 85% of the people that I coach are women. You know, they all not attractive women, but all of them ain't unattractive women. You know, so I feel like, you know, when it comes to especially life coaching and relationship coaching, and this is something that you want to take on full time. Make sure that your partner understands what it is you do, because you know, if I'm out here, if I'm supposed to have a meeting with somebody at 8 o'clock, and this female is attractive, my girl needs to understand, you know, like trust me enough to say, look, you know, this is what you do, this is what you were doing when I met you, so I need to be secure in not even just in yourself first and foremost, and understand like, you know, this is what he does for a living, you know, like. ooh, the meal you ate last night was paid for by her, you know, so I'm not saying you should. Yeah, I'm not going to, of course, brothers, do not say that, because I don't want y'all come back and say, Coach Cody told me to say that.
Right.
But just, especially when it comes to dating, make sure that the person understands what it is that you do, because I've coached some people that are insecure in some areas, and the biggest takeout was I feel like they didn't understand the individual's job. I got a friend right now who is a physical trainer, and he ended up his marriage ended up failing because she didn't trust him out training other women. But the reality of it was, like, when he met you, he was training you. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably why she don't trust him.
I know. And I'm like, you know, and like, you know, don't get me wrong, I don't know what, you know, even as a coach, you don't necessarily know exactly what goes on in a person's relationship.
True.
You know, you only know what they can tell you.
Yeah.
But, you know, from my perspective, like, he was a good dude, you know, I don't think he was cheating or anything. But I think a big part of that was, like, some of her insecurities. And what he did is what played a role in ultimately being divorced, you know, which is sad. But, you know, again, kind of going back to the relationship thing, like, you got to make sure you're with somebody who can handle what it is you do. You know, I would say that even if me and you were celebrities, you know, like, your wife would have to understand, like, you know, my man out here, you know, he don't come home all the time, but she got to be able to trust that, you know, even though you're around these attractive people or attractive women, that ultimately you still coming back home to her.
Yeah.
You know, have security in you more than anything. So that's the biggest thing.
Gotcha. So I know you said, you know, your clientele is like 85% women. So with that being said, does anyone ever hit you up with, like, hey, you're not even in a relationship, how are you fit to coach
of course, of course, people have always done that. You know, I think the biggest thing with that is, like, I've had some experiences, and I've had some experiences, and you know, I feel like the biggest thing with that is we just have to trust the. Literally lost my train of thought over here. Sorry, what was that?
It's all right.
Nah, but I've definitely had people say that, and, you know, one thing that I learned in the coaching classes is that everybody ain't for you. You know, that's just like you getting a job. Like, you know, this job, if you don't trust this job enough to, you know, keep going to it, then, you know, it ain't for you. If you don't trust me enough to guide you, because I'm not trying to, I'm not going to pick nobody for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just here to guide you in your process relationship. And like I said, I've had enough experience to kind of know what I'm doing, you know, a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
Right.
But I've definitely had that, you know, you want to go biblical, they say, you know, certain people in the Bible wasn't qualified. But, you know, hey, they did it. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, do you bring the biblical aspect in your coaching, or do you just keep it?
Good question.
Yeah.
Because I had a situation that took place at my job.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, I recently started a new job, so everybody's like, you know, once they find out you know, your personal life, it becomes like, oh, really? Oh, you a relationship coach, but you ain't no relationship? Coach me. And so I had a situation, you know, hopefully, you know, you don't get too many comments, but I had a young brother who was in a same-sex marriage who reached out to me and he wanted me to coach him. Now, you know, with my biblical beliefs, you know, I was kind of, all right, though, yo, like, do you really want to do this? Because you got to give him the word, or do you just continue to give him, you know, what it is you do for a profession?
Yeah.
And, you know, one thing about me is, like, I'm like I said, you know me, I'm always trying to find the good in the situation, because he was going through a divorce, and his whole, he told me about what was going on. Well, he didn't necessarily tell me, but, you know, he was like expressing, you know, what went on in the marriage, and both of them was cheating. You know, my thing was, you know, look, man, like, if you ain't happy, and this is just my view on it. You know, I'm not saying that this is what you
Outside
should do.
looking in,
This is
outside
not what
looking
I'm saying you should do.
Yeah.
But if you and your partner ain't happy with each other and y'all had cheating and all this other stuff, you know, like, find somebody who you can be committed to. Like, don't continue to involve yourself in something that you ultimately that you're not going it's not gonna last.
Right.
But anyways, they were, you know, same-sex couple. And one thing we learned in the coaching class is, like, whether you're a relationship coach or a life coach, people are going to be drawn to you by who you are. Like, they find something in you to be drawn to you, to even reach out to you for your coaching.
For sure.
You know, it's 1,000 life coaches out here, 1,000 relationship coaches, but you chose me.
Right.
You know, so I would take that as, you know, something inside of them trusted me enough to listen to their story, to help guide them. And in that particular situation, I just gave him the 411, like, you know, look, dude, like, you wrong for cheating, he wrong for cheating, you know, and that's that. Now, when he brought the other question to me, that's when I look, I don't think I can help you here, because he said, how can I be a better wife?
So he referred to himself as wife.
He referred to himself as wife.
Okay.
So I was like, I really can't tell you that, because I don't necessarily know what it is to be a wife, and I don't really think you know what it is to be a wife.
Yeah.
You know?
So kind of blurred the lines a little
Yeah,
bit.
it was very blurred over there. So, you know, to encourage anybody out there who does choose to make the decision to be a life coach or relationship coach, you have to be, especially if you are a believer, you have to be willing to take on whatever it is you want to take on. That's just like, if I'm going to sit out here and coach somebody who, because life coaching isn't just, life coaching and relationship coaching kind of one and the same. It's not just, oh, we coach people in relationship.
Yeah.
There's people that have to coach in life as well.
Yeah.
You know? So, in that, you know, I got to understand the fact that every time I have to lose my train of thought. But even in that, you know, I think the biggest issue is you got to understand that everybody that comes to you isn't going to believe the way that you believe.
Right.
If that makes sense. You know, and it's totally up to you if you take on that person as a client or whatever. You know, I'm just a firm believer in if that person reached out to you, there's something that they saw in you that they need.
Right.
And I would definitely, you know, coach them through the process. And if we go through the process and find out that we might not be suitable for each other, then that's when, you know, you can make your decision and, you know, go your separate ways.
Right.
So I'm still here, but you know, just going back on the the whole same-sex marriage thing. At the end of the day, you know, I feel like in that role you have to be unbiased, because I feel like if you bring your personal beliefs into being a coach or whatever, I think it'll kind of hinder you from actually getting to the root of the problem for that person.
Right.
You know, so at the end of the day, you know, it might. I don't know, you know, like you said, you're not in the type of, relationship to know what he's, necessarily going through. You can only coach him as best as you know how to.
Right.
And, and for you to say, like, he called himself a wife and everything like that, I was kind of shocked at that, because I thought there was, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't think there was more so gender roles.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I thought even with that, they played gender roles, you know, so it was a shock to me. Kind of made me interested in how that relationship operates, but I don't want to go into much detail because I don't want to make him think I was.
No, I understand. Yeah.
But and I guess nowadays, with the whole equal movement, if that's the way to put it, I don't want to get your video flagged.
No.
But with where we are in today's society, I feel like the biggest thing is like this is something we're gonna have to eventually accept anyways. I mean, they already pushing it on the kids, they pushing it in the media, so like I said, if this ain't the type of people that you want to coach, I'm not gonna say this ain't the business for you, but it's even the same way when it comes to like opening up a business. I remember seeing an article where these people are baking cakes and they refuse to bake a cake for this same-sex married couple, and they end up suing them.
Yeah.
So, I think it's something that you have to be willing to, and I hate to say accept, because then you feel like you gotta, I feel like it's a difference between being able to stand in your beliefs and being, and accepting something but not supporting it, if that makes sense. You know, I can accept the fact that I work with, you know, homosexuals, but I don't have to support it. I mean, I'm not going to encourage you to keep living the way that you're living, if that makes sense, you know. So.
I have this conversation with people a lot, whatever, because at the end of the day, being a Christian doesn't necessarily, and we're, you know, like I said, we're not trying to go too biblical, but, you know, being a Christian doesn't mean that you can't like people for who they are. At the end of the day, you're still supposed to be able to love people. Even if you don't agree with their lifestyle, you still should be able to love them, whatever. Whether they're doing this, that, and the third, as long as you can love them through it, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, and I guess with your role, I feel like the lines are blurred between being a pastor and being a coach.
That's very true, too.
Yeah.
Especially when you are a coach in with a Christian background.
Right.
You know, you automatically title as a preacher or a pastor.
Right.
And those are, again, two completely different roles. You know what I mean? I'm going to be real with y'all. Like, I could not handle being a pastor because some of y'all don't listen, and I'll be to close my church down. Look, everybody go home. I'm not doing it no more because the same people keep coming to this altar every Sunday.
Right.
Nah, but, you know, and you're right. I think it's like, I guess what you said, it would be a blurred line between the two. And even with coaching, I've had people come to me and say, like, well, my pastor said this.
Yeah.
And, like, it's kind of contradicting what you said as a coach. And I'm like, well, you know, that's your pastor's job to guide you in the right direction biblically.
Right. But that's not your job.
Right.
Yeah.
My job is to guide you in the right line or in the right path, because you have an initial goal, which is to be in a successful relationship, to be in a successful marriage, or to be a successful entrepreneur. You know, like your pastor or let me not say that. Your pastor should guide you in the right path in a biblical sense. That's his job, biblical direction.
Yeah.
Now, you know, like you said, like I think we don't understand. I mean, you know, in Vincent, we both are Christians, believers, spiritual people. I know y'all got a bunch of different names nowadays, you know, but I think the biggest takeaway from that is we got to be willing to, if we're going to put it like this, if we're going to live biblically by the word, God said we're supposed to love everybody. You know, we're supposed to love everybody. I can't knock you because you come to work drunk every day.
Yeah, new club.
Right. Because, you know, sometimes I might take a drink or two. I'm drinking water right now, but I'm just letting y'all know. You know, but all in the same sentence, you know, we have to be willing to accept people where they are. Because I've had situations where, you know, even outside of coaching, just by people knowing that I'm a Christian or going to church, their lifestyle kind of changed because they were in the atmosphere, in the midst of my life. You know, I had somebody tell me, like, you know, I go to church every Sunday now. And I don't even go to church every Sunday now. You know, so I'm like, bro, congratulations, because you're doing better than me. And I'm the one encouraging you to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we really got to get to a place, I think, in society where we are willing to accept people for where they are.
Yeah.
Love them right where they at. You know, one of the biggest things, and this is kind of like a side note, the biggest thing is the Lil Nas X movement.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can say my beliefs and what I believe with that, but I think our job is not to continue to criticize this man, you know, because some of y'all kids are living the same lifestyle as he is, and some are worse than that. You know, so we gotta love this man where he is the biggest thing, and if we're gonna talk about being a Christian, we need to love him as a Christian, you know.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue, you know, we gotta be willing to love people where they are.
Right. So, I mean, we got a little, I ain't gonna say a little deep, but we got a little bit, but, you know, we can definitely tie into some of the other stuff you got going on. So for one, let's talk about Purpose Mates.
Okay, Purpose Mates. Purpose Mate is a vision that came to me. I cannot tell y'all when it came to me because I don't remember. But Purpose Mate is, I'm like I said, I'm a firm believer in purpose. Being a life coach is kind of your thing, you know, you want to walk in your purpose. And I felt like, you know, my belief is like, if you're gonna be married to somebody in purpose or on purpose. Mm-hmm. For instance, like, you know, somebody who can support your vision and your beliefs. You know, me and you were just talking before we started recording, And Vincent was saying, you know, how his wife was very encouraging with, hey, do this and do that. That to me is what a purpose mate is.
Yeah.
You know, to encourage you to do and believe in what it is you do, to keep you going in what it is that, you know, is your purpose.
Right.
But purpose mate came from me just being in relationships that didn't add to my purpose. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one thing for me to be, you know, out here doing one thing that, you know, y'all witnesses me doing Letters to the Mic. You know, we was out, I remember when your boy didn't have a car, man. This was like hustling every day. Yeah. You know, really like walking, like, you know, at the time Vincent was a poet. I don't know if y'all know that. Y'all don't know that.
So my same YouTube name was my poetry stage name, but that's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to interview him on my podcast. So, but yeah, you know, we were really like in purpose, and you know, I'm a witness to this. You know, there's a lot of times where, you know, me, you, and your wife was out there together. You know, she was supporting him in his purpose. And I was like, you know, like, I need somebody like that. Like, you know, when I'm out here in these streets, she out here in these streets. Right. And no, I don't mean streets, because I don't want to get y'all past like, oh, me and my wife in the street doing stuff, so we in purpose.
No cap, man. We used to be out like 4 or 3 o'clock in the morning just out doing shows and stuff, so we was out there in the streets. Yeah,
so, you know, like I said, it just, I'm like, Purpose Mates came from that. You know, just being able to be, you know, you want to get biblical, be yoked up with somebody or connected to somebody, married to somebody who is not only purpose driven for themselves, because I'm sure, you know, your wife has purpose too, and I'm sure you support that. You know, I walked in and saw a whole salon over here. I was like, they doing it big over here. They got a studio, they got a salon, you know, like, oh man, okay, that is purpose.
Yeah.
But, you know, but again, like, you know, for you to be able to pour into her purpose and for her to pour into your purpose, that's what Purpose Makes is all about. And like I said, you know, and I'm trying to, I don't want to tell anybody not to pursue a relationship if it doesn't add to your purpose. But, you know, if you are a purpose believer and you live and you walking in purpose and you kind of want something, this is me.
Yeah.
I want somebody who kind of, you know, helping me in my purpose. So that's what Purpose Mate came all about. Purpose Mate is also a conference that we do that I've been doing yearly, where we have, that's where the biblical stuff comes in, you know, for those of you who are believers. You come and you get good word, you get good worship, you get other people that have been in, I've had people come and were part of divorcees and came on and they were talking about their relationship.
Like both the people?
Both people.
Oh,
they
really?
were willing to, you know, open up about their relationship.
Wow.
I had a recent, you know, the last one I think I did, you know, and I don't, where my, you know Jasmine?
Yeah.
Jasmine and Kyrie were, I'm not sure if they were dating at the time, but you know, now they're a whole married couple, so you need to come to the Purpose Mate Conference, you might find your boo, man. The girl that I hosted with, shout out to Tonia. Tonia was single at the time, and a couple weeks later she was married. So I don't know what it is about Purpose Mate, but hey, come through. Yeah, something in the atmosphere.
That's good, man. That's good. I mean, with that being said, talk about your merch. You know, 'cause I know you brought.
Yes, I got the. This is the. I guess what you call it, the authentic. The authentic Purpose Mate.
All right.
Purpose Mate hoodie, got the little Purpose Mate logo on there. This is the, what do we consider this? This is more like the retro.
Yeah.
This is the retro Purpose Mate hoodie. You know, got a zipper. For those of y'all who might not like zip up hoodies, we have the Purpose Mate logo. And if I can stand up and let you guys see the back, I believe it's
help you out. Get right there on the
purpose. Like
there go purpose.
Yeah. Remember what it says.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely have merch. As of right now, you can kind of go on to the Purpose Mate Instagram page. That's at Purpose Mates DOC, which means at Purpose Mate Documentaries. Which kind of leads me into the Purpose Mate YouTube page, which is kind of like a YouTube where you can kind of go and get encouragement of people's stories, from singles to married people to dating. I actually have a video with Vincent and his wife, who are great people that are gonna post a video later on, of course, you know. But they did an interview, talked about their dating process, their story, you know, what they went through. You know, you guys can get some. I don't know how juicy Vincent gets on this podcast, but we definitely talked about some heavy stuff when it came to relationships and how you guys kind of build out the foundation of what was a friendship in the beginning and now where you guys are today. Yeah, you know, you can get the merch. We also have t-shirts available that I do not have with me, but like I said, you can get onto the Instagram page and find out more information about that.
Right. And make sure you send me all that so I can
Yes,
add it in. So
definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, so with that being said, you know, you're a life coach, you're a speaker, you're a host. You know, you have your own merch and everything, and I also understand you have your own studio. You know, in a sense, you start up your own studio.
We're definitely working on doing a studio. Myself and a good friend of mine who is definitely like a sister. Shout out to that girl Nina, which can replace me. But you know, that's my sis. Me and her kind of built a strong relationship over the past few years, and we got together originally. The He Said, She Said live that we're going to be doing. That's going to also include Vincent and Kelsey. We're going to do a actual live sit down with some married couples, some single couples, some single men. And this isn't one of the biblical things that I do. One thing I feel like when you are truly walking in purpose, you know, you have to deal with some people that may not believe the way that you do. So I got some guys on there who are definitely not ready to be committed and be in a committed relationship, you know, so we can hear their opinions, we can hear Vincent's opinions, and married people's opinions. I think the crew that we have that is live, once we, you know, secure everything in the studio, it's going to be something that people are definitely going to be talking about, because I know Vincent's belief, I know how Vincent is, and I know how some people are that we have on the show as well. But we have a studio that we're in the process of secure some things with that, and the initial goal is to have people be able to come in and you guys come in and set up your stuff like we doing here, and just shoot here. You know, equipment and everything is already ready. Myself and my sister are starting up the actual podcast of this movement of He Said, She Said, and He Said, She Said is basically what it says. You know. A lot of times, you know, she said this or he said that, but we're gonna bring it all together. It's kind of gonna be a battle of the sexes type vibe, right. You know. So I'm looking forward to that. For those of you who want to do that, there's also an Instagram page for that, which is He Said, She Said. Flat out, He Said, She Said. You can follow us on there. You know, it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming for that. We got some merch that we're working on for that as well. So we got a lot of stuff that's in the process and the making. But as a life coach, I want to encourage y'all, like, that's the key. You know, like, as long as you out here doing it, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about where it's at right now. Just keep pushing, keep doing it, you know? That's why I said I wanted to come here. Vince has been doing this for how long now? I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
No, about a year now.
About a year, you know, so he is, I don't know how many episodes we in now?
For the interview, this is the 8th episode.
Okay, the 8th episode, but you know, the corner itself has done a lot of interviews, man, and I'm proud of this dude, you know, because I know what it takes to edit videos and be consistent with getting people together. Yeah, it definitely ain't fun. Like, it's definitely your purpose. It's your purpose. Because I love to do it too, but I'm like, man, like, I can't do that editing stuff. I just send mine off to somebody else. Here you go. Take that.
Because, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, man, like I was talking with one of my buddies, and I was like, man, at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm a, what you call it, videographer. I never thought of myself as a videographer, but I was thinking myself, like, I edit, I shoot everything, you know, do it all in one night and ship it out. That's it. You know, so I'm thankful to be, you know, been doing it for this long, keep going and keep putting content out. But,
And then another thing, too, I think that really, you know, lets you know a person's drive when it's like, because initially, when we first started doing Lettuce and Mike, I wasn't a host.
Yeah. I
didn't like being in front of people, but you know, when you get in the nitty gritty or something, you like, look, man, like, I ain't got no money to pay nobody to do this, and but I really want this done, so I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
And it kind of creates a new a new avenue for yourself. Like you said, like you consider yourself to be a videographer, but you're an editor, videographer, podcast host, YouTube, you know,
Man.
he over here, you know, touching it and all this stuff, sound man, you know, like he doing it all over here.
I mean, it's a struggle in itself, man. But you know, I love doing it. I love trying to, you know, get people out there and push their platform, whatever.
Right.
That's the only reason I created this, man. So we can all build each other up. That's my plan.
And that's definitely what we need nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, you know, you got everything out there. You got people doing podcasts here, people doing podcasts there. You got people that try to get people that's known and things of that nature.
Right.
And that's not my drive. I want to get people on here that want to be on here
Right.
and want to, you know, do better, be better, strive, be
Right.
greater. And then, you know, if in the day they be like, hey, you know, I was on such and such show back in the day, and I'm like, well, hey, I did that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then, you know, when they show good, they be like, look, man, you come on my show. And then you got new followers,
sure.
you know, so it's definitely something to look into. So I'm not telling y'all to start no podcast because, you know, you definitely got to be cut out for that.
Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of people say, they're like, why men start a podcast instead of going to therapy? And I was like, you know what? I don't know.
That's a good question, you know, but I feel like it's easier, like for me and you, you know, it's easier to sit here with, you know, one of your boys, even if he ain't your boy, you know, like alcohol will make people loosen up a little bit. You can't take no alcohol into the therapy room and be like, look, man, this is what's going on. Because the whole time you be thinking about how much money I'm paying you just to sit here and have a drink. Well, I'm going to be doing it free with my boy Vincent. And, you know, man. And I'm sure, you know, and I feel like one thing about Vincent is like he's going to give you the truth. And he also going to give you, you know, his good opinion. So you don't think you're not going to be able to sit down with him and then be like, man, I really want to go out here and just cheat on my wife. Because Vincent's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's not what I said.
Right. So, you know, you're able to sit down and really be able to take something from the conversation. You know, one thing that we definitely going to talk about on even the live podcast with all of us together, you know, it's the men, we're just going to sit down and have a conversation about this whole black men in therapy.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that
It's needed.
It's definitely needed, and I think we so gung-ho on, you know, just being out here and just pushing through it. You know, that's okay sometimes, but sometimes you might need to find somebody who could be your accountability brother and just sit down and have a talk.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes these mics can be therapy. You know, so sometimes this therapy you need right here is just dealing with your men, like you know, have your accountability brother.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I can tell you now, you know, all the cats in the corner, man, like, when we start slowing down, it's like, man, I miss being on here, man. Like, I love the camaraderie, man. I love the environment. I love just being able to get stuff off my chest and walk home.
Right.
You know,
I got some stories that happened about 2 months ago that I need to tell my brothers about.
Right. So, I mean, it's definitely a beautiful thing, man. So, with that being said, what can we look for next year, for 2022?
2022, which y'all can be looking forward to, is just a lot more of this face. But just look for a lot more of purpose-driven stuff for me. You know, like I got a lot going on. Like I said, got the interviews with Vincent. I'm trying to sit down. You know, I'm trying to come back to the corner when all the fellas in here. You know, and just be able to talk, but the camera's off, so we can just release. You know, a bunch of testosterone and bro, hey man, fight me. But you know, just look for a lot more from the Purpose Make thing. We're looking to take, and I'm not gonna say looking, we're in talks of having Purpose Make conference in Texas next year.
Oh wow!
So you know, and it'll be something where I'm trying to get everybody that I've ever connected with in this one place. You know, so God's will, you know, I can pay for y'all flight, you know, like we're gonna speak that thing into existence. You know. To get everybody there in the same building and be able to share their stories with dating and relationships and everything, you know, like I'm a firm believer in, like, you know, what Vincent does in his marriage, because I feel like they got a powerful story to tell. Whether they told it or not, you know, I don't know, you know, to share with y'all, you know, their journey. Like I said, I remember Vincent when he was single, you know, so cover the mic. But, you know, just look forward to a lot more of just me trying to walk in my purpose more than anything. but because I definitely want to set the example as being a life coach, you know, for others. Like, you know, look, when you just take that leap of faith and do it, you know, I'm sure when you first opened up the corner to do this, I'm sure I'm sure it was scary. I'm sure it was like I don't know if I'm gonna do this no more. You know, I'm sure, you know, all the fellas didn't show up at the same time. You know, so I'm sure it got kind of hectic. But just look for a lot more from that. The praise experience is something else I used to do. It's kind of like the Let Us Invite thing. We're looking to bring the praise experience back, you know, this year or next year. You know, the pandemic kind of slowed a lot of stuff down. But that's okay because the pandemic also had your boy save up enough money to invest in other stuff. So, you know, merch and all that other stuff. So just look forward to a lot more from, you know, Purpose Made, Coach Cody, all this other stuff. Coach Cody gonna start it. I got a YouTube. Y'all can follow me at Coach Cody. That way I'm gonna sit down and start doing some interviews like this. You know, podcasts. Sometimes I'm just might be riding in the car. I want to do, you know, like, look, this is what just dropped on my heart, y'all. You know, da da da. Right. So just look for a lot more from me with that. You know, working on a book.
Okay.
Plug that out there.
All right.
The name of the book is gonna be called "This Can't Be It." I think a lot of times we might get in a rut, like, you know, I've been on jobs like, look, bro, this can't be this can't be it for me.
This
Like,
ain't it.
This ain't it. You know, and this is gonna talk about, you know, my journey from being a editor of videos and stuff to now being on stage and connecting with some other, you know, I've connected with some certain artists, you know, and everything. So it's gonna be a journey about that, you know, walking in purpose more than anything. So,
Right.
that's definitely something that just be looking for a lot more for me, you know. So I can't tell y'all what's going on. I'm just gonna usually gotta be following me at IMDR1 to figure out what else gonna be popping, you know.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Well, you already kind of answered one of my questions as far as the pandemic. That was going to be my final question as far as, like, what did it do for you? But like you said, you saved and things of that nature.
Right.
So I guess when everything finally, I guess, officially opens back up, what do you see, you know, you doing? Do you see yourself not only having a show, but like maybe on a network or anything like that? Or do you just want to do everything on your own?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think one thing, like I said, I feel like one thing that this pandemic has taught me is, like, go for your dreams, man. Like, go for whatever it takes, you know, do it.
Yeah.
By all means necessary. Because you don't want to regret not taking the opportunity when you could have took the opportunity from the beginning. You know, from, like I said, from saving to the point where, look, you know, I got a couple $1,000, let me just go invest in some microphones.
Right.
You know, so that's what I did. Still ain't used the microphone, but at least I got them.
You got them?
At least I got them.
Right.
The pandemic, another thing that the pandemic that took place, like, and I don't know about you, but it exposed the real people in your life. The real legit people, like, if they gonna be there for you, you know, not even the fact that people might have thought you had the corona. You know what I'm saying? Some people didn't want to talk to you because they thought you had the corona.
Yeah.
But, you know, it also let me know who is in real support of the vision, my vision. I remember I think at the peak of the pandemic, I did the Purpose Made conference, and it let me know who some people came out, and I understand, like, you know, you got your take on, you know, whether you can you comfortable getting out, but, you know, it showed me, like, you know, y'all willing to get out here in the midst of a pandemic and support your boy. Like, that ain't God. That's a good friend right there. Like, in the midst of a pandemic, man. And this is before they started saying, you know, to wear a mask. You know, so we didn't know what was going on, but they were still supporting me. So I appreciate that. You know, where do I see this? You know, I definitely would love to have a network. You know, one thing, back to the studio thing, like, I want to be able to do that, and not only that, but, you know, be able to support others. Like you said, you know, if it's a room like this where it's just like, look, that's where the corner shoots, that's where Purpose Made shoots over there, right. That's where this shoots, you know, all this other stuff, you know, just to be able to, that's where, you know, Kelsey got her studio going on that, you know. So the bigger vision is, like, I want to see, like, as a coach, I feel like I want to see other people walking in purpose more than anything. That's the biggest thing, you know. You go after your dreams, in any way I can support, you know, let me know. I'm all for, you know, these type of settings where like if you building a platform, you need somebody to come on and talk to, you know, don't let introduce, welcome me. I'm welcome. Come on, you know. Vincent put it out. I was like, look, man, let me go on out here and talk to you. You know, drinking my water.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Man, with that being said, I'm just glad you was able to come out, you know, present yourself, present your platform. I didn't get too deep on, you know, on you as a person and anything like that, man. I really want you to explain yourself.
Say that for when we got all the fellas together. So just in case I got to cry,
oh, God.
She hurt me.
But yeah, man, this was definitely a good one, man. I'm glad you were able to sit down with me, you know, and then, you know, I guess volunteer your time to me as well, because, you know, like I told you, you know, this is something that's just up and coming, and that's all I want to do. I want to build myself, I want to build others. So, you know, I definitely appreciate you for coming on set, present your product, you know, giving some people some life lessons as well, because not only are you a relationship coach, you can give life lessons as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, you don't necessarily have to be a certified life coach to give people advice, you know. I'm sure Vincent been doing the corner for a year, and I'm sure he done dropped some nuggets on y'all, and y'all was like, that it just messed me up, man.
Giving them out for free.
So maybe Vincent need to go over here and get certified. We got here to be a tag team. Look, I can't handle this lady because, all right, I got him. I got him.
All right. All right, y'all. So, I mean, we can end it there, man. Like I said, I think we had good dialogue. You know, had a couple equipment issues, but we stuck through it, man. Everything's good to go. So, I mean, with that being said, this has been another episode of the interview. This is episode 8 of the Corner Presents.
Spiritual people with number 8.
And this interview was entitled Purposely in Existence. You know, just to go with not only the man, but the clothing line and everything he stands for, you know, living your existence or whatnot. You know, live what you feel like you purpose for, and then it'll take you a long way. So, to end it off, you know, I'm your host, K1, and this is
Coach Cody.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, man.